Fascinating. A government operative office released individuals' information on the web, then, at that point, the information was taken. The rundown of information is long. Names, callings, blood gatherings, guardians' names, telephone numbers, the length of calls, vehicle enrollments, identification subtleties, finger impression photographs. Yet, this is certainly not a run-of-the-mill data set release, the sort that happens constantly. These classifications of data are completely connected to a data set held by a knowledge organization for a really long time, the Public Telecom Observing Center, NTMC, a knowledge body in Bangladesh that is engaged with gathering individuals' wireless and web action, has distributed individuals' very own data through an unstable information base connected to its frameworks. Furthermore, this previous week, unknown programmers went after the uncovered data set, clearing subtleties off of the framework and professing to have taken the stash of data. Wired has checked an example of certifiable names, telephone numbers, email locations, areas, and test results remembered for the information. In any case, the specific nature and reason for the amassed data is muddled, for certain sections having all the earmarks of being test data, mistaken, or halfway records. The NTMC and different authorities in Bangladesh have not answered demands for input. The revelation, which seems to have been inadvertent, gives a little look into the exceptionally mysterious universe of signs knowledge and how interchanges might be caught. I wouldn't anticipate that this should happen for any knowledge administration, regardless of whether it's not actually something that touchy, says Victor Markopoulos, a security specialist for Cloud Defense.al who found the unstable data set. Regardless of whether numerous information are test information, they actually uncover the construction that they're utilizing, for sure precisely it is that they are catching or plan to block. After Markopoulos found the uncovered data set, he connected it back to the NTMC and login pages for a Bangladeshi public knowledge stage. Markopoulos accepts the information base was reasonable presented because of a misconfiguration. Inside the data set, there are in excess of 120 records of information, with various logs put away in each. The lists incorporate names, for example, sat telephone, SMS, birth enlistment, PIDS_prisoners_list_search, driving_license_temp, and Twitter. A portion of those records contain a modest bunch of passages each, while others contain several thousands. By far most of the information uncovered in the NTMC data set is metadata, the very strong who, what, how, and when of everybody's correspondences. Call sound isn't uncovered, yet metadata shows which numbers might have called others and how lengthy each call endured. This sort of metadata can be utilized extensively to show designs in individuals' way of behaving and whom they collaborate with. For example, the birth enrollment log incorporates fields like name, in English and Bengali, birthday, sex, origination, and mothers' and fathers' names and identities, as per an example of the information checked on by Wired. Another log, called Finance Individual Subtleties, incorporates individuals' names as well as phone numbers and financial balance subtleties, and records an sum for the record type. Public ID numbers are habitually remembered for the information structures, as are cell numbers and the names of portable administrators in Bangladesh. There are arrangements of base handset stations, which are portions of mobile phone organizations, and the records notice CDR, which might allude to call detail records. A portion of the information spilled has all the earmarks of being test data, as well as information that is inadequate or wrong. A few sections incorporate conventional series of numbers, for example, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, while different passages are rehashed on numerous occasions all through the information base. Genuine information is additionally included inside the spilled data. One individual reached by Wired affirmed that the email, versatile number, and a charging address recorded had a place with them. The individual says they are a supporter of telecom firm BTCL, which is government-run and has a portion of their own data, despite the fact that it's indistinct whether this is the wellspring of the information that was spilled. Markopoulos found test results recorded in the information, including some that were taken in the last part of the 1990s, that matched those recorded on the Service of Schooling site. Instant messages shipped off numerous numbers in the data set were conveyed, albeit one individual answered saying they were not the individual recorded in the dataset. One more telephone number is openly recorded as having a place with a Bangladeshi business. An encoded identification photograph associates with the supposed proprietor's public data, in spite of the fact that they couldn't be gone after remark. From a survey of an example of the uncovered data, it is hazy why the information has been gathered, where it has all been gathered from, or what it is being utilized for. There is no sign that it connects with any bad behavior. Jeremiah Fowler, a security expert and fellow benefactor of information break revelation firm Security Disclosure, checked on the uncovered data set and affirmed it connects to the NTMC. Fowler, who consistently finds uncovered servers and information bases on the web, says the information being connected to the knowledge body is presumably one of the principal that I have seen this way. The greatest thing I saw that was truly perilous was a lot of IMEI numbers, he expresses, alluding to the distinguishing code given to every individual mobile phone. With those, you can really follow the gadget or clone the gadget. The NTMC has not recognized or answered Wired's inquiries regarding the spilled data, including those about reason, and the sum has been accumulated. The press office of the Public Authority of Bangladesh and the Bangladesh High Commission in London additionally didn't answer demands for input. Markopoulos detailed the presented data to Bangladesh's PC Episode Reaction Group, CIRT, on November 8, and it recognized his message and expressed gratitude toward him for uncovering the delicate openness. In an email to Wired, the CRT said it had advised the issue to the NTMC. The information base gave off an impression of being disconnected in front of the distribution of this article. Notwithstanding, Markopoulos expresses that on November 12, the data set was cleaned and in its place seemed a payment note. Furthermore, in its place seemed a payment note by an obscure aggressor or gathering of aggressors. The note requested installment of 0.01 Bitcoin, around $360 at current trade rates, or that information will be openly uncovered and erased. Both Markopoulos and Fowler say this is normal for uncovered data sets of this sort. In the meantime, new passages have begun showing up in the clean data set, Markopoulos says, and they incorporate a search log record that might demonstrate the framework is still being used. The NTMC, which rose up out of a past observing body in 2013, portrays itself as an association that gives legitimate correspondence capture offices to different organizations in Bangladesh, which has a populace of 167 million. It is liable for setting up and fostering an capture stage, and guaranteeing that it works day in and day out, as per its site. Ongoing announcing has guaranteed that 30 organizations are connected to the NTMC utilizing APIs, and that it consolidates records from portable administrators, visa and migration administrations, and different bodies. In January, the NTMC supposedly bought observation innovation from organizations. Priests have examined the NTMC capturing web-based entertainment information. A telecoms master who has worked in Bangladesh, who mentioned obscurity over fears of government reprisal against their family, charges that as a legitimate catch community, the NTMC can gather immense volumes of information. They are not just gathering call information records from portable organizations, yet additionally, they are gathering logs and nitty-gritty records, meeting history, from internet services. They guarantee it's truly strong, and the sort of reconnaissance that they do is more impressive than European nations, they add, referring to Bangladesh's absence of authoritative equals to Europe's severe information security regulations.as of late. Fights the ongoing government have shaken Bangladesh as a crackdown has occurred against those in resistance, in front of the nation's next round of races in 2024. One Bangladesh-based analyst who asked not to be named, dreading repercussions, says they hope to see more reconnaissance and focusing of people in front of the decisions 1 year from now. More observation and focusing of people in front of the races 1 year from now. I think the main need must be to make people, particularly activists, mindful of the observation framework and comprehend how to be protected on the web, the scientist says when gotten some information about computerized privileges. At the point when, in the nation, individuals are battling for their fundamental freedoms, for example, getting their everyday work and battling for their political privileges, advanced privileges come a lot later.